Welcome back to another episode of my Ultimate Iron Man. I am action-packed start today. I am at Zulrah, just getting right into it. Last episode we did some Phantom Muspa and then came to Zulrah at the end, you know, just to wrap things up. Because I've got my big boy shoes on. I am all set in, sunk in for a Zulrah grind. I made a commitment last time that I'm either going to stay until I get a unique I don't have, which would be the Magic Fang or the Serp Visage, or I'm going to stay to 1,000 kills, freaking UIM Loki style, whatever comes first. As you can see right there, we are at 740 kills, just to give you an idea for, you know, where that's going to be. Well, I don't think I'll be able to do, 260 kills this episode. That's a bit much to ask for me to do in 1 week. That's kind of like we're going to be doing for Zulrah potentially for that long. If you haven't seen my collection log, depending on my luck this episode, obviously I don't know in advance when I'm recording, but the thumbnail for this video very well may be my Zulrah collection log zoomed in on the 4 Onyxes I've gotten. I know that this isn't like, a disgusting log. Like technically I think we're even overrate for how many uniques, 5 uniques we've gotten in 740 kills. It's just the distribution of uniques could be a little bit better for my own personal taste. So that's the general hope. That's what we're going for today. Between the two of those drops, honestly, I don't think I have one that I would like super prefer over the other. Probably the Serp Visage at this point would let me do more things immediately and then probably free up some more bag space. But both of them will be useful things that I'd like to have rather than not having on the account. So I won't complain too terribly, whichever one we see first. Another day, another Hespori kill, and this one took an atrocious amount of time. I was whiffing hard near the end. Actually, I guess it wasn't that bad. I just was going much faster at the start. But let's see if we get a bottomless bucket. No, and a not useful seed. Well, it isn't an Onyx. I haven't actually looked at the chat log yet, so it could be a double drop, the coveted double Zulrah drop. I see a Tan's Fang. It's just a Tan's Fang. I mean, it isn't an Onyx. Like, it's not the actual worst thing in the world, but it's not what I want. Again, similar thing of, like, don't really want the blowpipe. The only times I think it's useful now is Inferno, and even then, I think Bofa... Like, I don't say it's better, but you can learn it with Bofa, and, it might be easier for UIMs for inventory space. And then maybe, like, some speed things, Grotesque Guardians, a couple other things just to get some quick kills. So we're just going to dismantle that for scales, which I think you need a knife to do that, if I'm remembering. But hey, at least it is something. Let me check I'm at like, what, 1776. I bet, I hope that's gonna like flag my video for saying that, is it? I hope it's not. That was a joke. Alex Jones is a terrible person. But let me look at my Zulrah collection log. I don't know. I think, is it 1 in 128 for a drop? So that's what, 4, 5, 6, that's 600, and then 28, that's like, I think we're probably just around rate. We were probably about due for one, I think. So, not the worst thing in the world. It's the second worst thing we could have gotten. Unreal, guys. I swear. Unbelievable. Actual back-to-back. Holy cowly. That is the Serp Visage. That is quite good for us. It'll be good for this Zulrah grind right now. What do we do? Do we have to... I think we use a chisel on this to make that into the Serp Helm, I think. But we make this into the Serp Helm, and it makes us... I'm pretty sure it makes you immune to poison and venom, and I think there's even an effect to, like, apply venom for all your attacks or something like that, which I'm curious if you can turn on or off. Or maybe it only does that if it's charged or something. I don't know. I've never had a Serp Visage before, so I'm going to have to look into that. But it's good for any time you can get poisoned. Like, it's good for this. It's good for DKs. It would have been good for Vorkath, or if I ever go back to Vorkath for, like, grinding or pets or something like that. It'd be good for Pyramid Plunder. You can't get poisoned from that. A little bit more inventory space, which is especially useful for us. We just go ahead and chisel. Yep, we turn it into a Serp Vestige that is uncharged. Okay, so you can't even wear the Serp Vestige. Let me do a quick little bit of research. I might have to go to work, which is unfortunate, but I'll see if I can figure out something real quick before I head out. So it does have to be charged in order to get the Venom immunity effect. And I don't know, the wiki makes it seem like, okay, you don't need, so it scores up to 11,000 scales. You don't need scales or money to charge it. The wiki had like, it costs this much gold, but I think it was taking into account like if you were to buy the scales yourself. And that actually looks really good with my current setup right now. That's like the perfect color green to blend with like the range cape and my bow and then the yellow armor. So now the boots are really just holding us back. But yeah, so now we're totally immune to poison and venom, and the way the charges work is it's not like every hit or every time you do an attack. It's just, I think the first, whenever you enter combat, it said it uses 10 charges or 10 scales, and then every like 90 seconds, I think, or something like that, you're still in combat, or it'll check again and then use 10 more. So it's kind of just a continuous use thing rather than like, crystal armor where you have X amount of charges and every time you hit or like would do a hit or something, it takes them away. So that's pretty good. Definitely going to be trying this out for Zulrah, although my looting bag is totally full right now. It's probably time to try and get rid, well, obviously I have some Zulrah drops in here, but I don't need anti-venoms maybe really at all right now. I don't know, maybe I should research if it's worth it to have anti-venoms now that I have, it's kind of just replacing a slot, because I imagine it's probably not chargeable or storable when it's, oh my god, rip that guy. It's probably not tradable whenever it's charged, but I think it is tradable uncharged or something like that. So we should hopefully be able to store that in the bag, and yeah, that's going to be really useful for a lot of things. I'm about to head out to the work, like I mentioned, so I'll think on that while I'm there, and then I'll see what we come up with. We're probably dropping the crystal helm as well now. I think this is kind of like like for Slayer we have that, for Zulrah we're going to use this, for Vorkath we would use this, so I really don't think, I guess Phantom Muspa, if we ever go back to that, is the only thing where we want a crystal helm, and I think our other options aren't even that much worse, so we'll see. Well, I was thinking about all the things we could use this Serp helm at, and of course, first thing we got to test out is Hespori. We're going to be so much more efficient now that we don't have to ever stop to take 1 second to use our poison pot, and he says he's going to be efficient as he misclicks on Hespori and misses a flower. But yeah, I'm very excited for this. I'm still not 100% sure how like bag, space and what gets a bag spot not is going to change, but I do think I'm going to go ahead and drop the crystal helm. I really don't think we have any grinds coming up where it would be like the amount of grinds where we don't need to worry about defense, like we're like a Nezi or like the Serp helm or something like that. Wouldn't be necessary, but we'd also want need the extra maximum bonus of the crystal helm rather than just like an archer's helm or something. I can't think of realistically anything. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, well, it would be it is a grind to get back. It's not like going for another bow. It's just a crystal armor seat. Like it is doable for sure, even if it does become a decent bit of a grind at the gauntlet. So gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I don't know what my crystal top and bottom is at charge-wise. It looks like they can hold a decent amount of charges, because I won't actually drop this over, I'm just going to turn it into shards and then use those for charges. So I'm not sure which grind I'd like to jump into next, now that we have our Serp helm. I'm thinking thieving. It's been a while since I've done a grind where we're going to get a couple levels, fairly quickly. But I still feel like a little bit like I want to at least try Zulrah with the Serp helm. I don't think it's going to be like insanely different or anything, but I do think it'll be good. So I will probably push until 800 Zulrah kills. Just get a nice round number. We did about 100 kills for this next little grind. Maybe even end up getting the Magic Fang. That could be something that's potentially useful. Although I don't know how that affects like the trident becoming tradable or whatnot. I think it still is tradable. I would imagine, but we shall see. So yeah, probably about 20 more Zulrah kills, and then we will move on. I kind of forgot, but the 10-year anniversary is going on right now. There's a bunch of I've already seen some posts on Reddit about like the shoes you can get and some of the plushies. You can see some of them sitting here. They're pretty cute. I'll probably take a look at this at some point, but I'm on an elite clue grind right now, so no time for that. Oh, got an elite clue. This one was a bit of a grind. I had to kill like 250 or so chaos druids in order to get a cadentine, to make a cadentine potion, and but we got it, thankfully. I'm just looking for, I don't know, is the guy that gives you the strength cape around here? I don't actually know. I would think they would be, because I went and got something. But anyway, I will not drag you long anymore. Let's open up this elite clue. They're always worth it. Oh, we got another katana. That's kind of cool. And then a master clue, which I honestly just hope I can't do it right away, because I don't really want to go on another adventure. I can't. Wilderness. Not going to go into the wilderness. But yeah, what do katanas alch for? Oh, 14k. Well, that's not anything crazy. Oh man, now I really wish I could hold 2 katanas, go full Zoro, but I cannot. Oh, I was close to being right. The guy with the strength cape is right through this heavy door. Do you need the strength level to open this door, I wonder? Oh, it's a strength training method. But anyway, if I go to talk to Sloan, I can buy skill cape of strength. And then I didn't actually look this up. I'm just trying to remember. I think Mudkip did something about this forever ago. But if we go to my house, we'll see that I had to come to the Warriors Guild for an elite clue. And then we'll see I built this cape rack right here. Oh, look, you have my McCoy. Shout out, dude. I think if we go ahead and put this, you can put any skill cape on here, and then it defaults to its teleport that it has. And now you'll already remember that this has a teleport. When I go to Warriors Guild here, it teleports you outside the Warriors Guild, and then you have to run in here, and then, you know, go back to get your food or get your Slayer helm or something like that. But if we go and use my new fancy, well, not new, I've had the strength cape forever. But if we use my new fancy cape mount over here and teleport, I'm pretty sure this should put us inside the Warriors Guild. Oh, that's actually further up than I thought. I wonder if maybe it's random, but you know, it makes you really stupid. But hey, I wasn't using that spot, and it is a little bit closer to if I want to buy food for clue steps, if I have to get in here, and also my Slayer helmet stash unit is right here. So it's just, you know, a slight convenience now for the future, for whenever I have to get to the Warriors Guild, because that one is always like there's already like a birth orb teleport that takes you like right here. So like it's kind of strange that there's 2 of them like that. But you know, hey, we're always looking for little time savers here on this channel. I take efficiency very seriously. Totally just missed 800 KC at Zulrah. That was my initial goal, although you see I recently got some Zolander teleports, so gonna keep doing a little bit more for that just to get a nice even number. And also, I had like 703 when I started this grind, so it would be nice to get over 100 kills, like, just for this grind, you know, just to say I did or whatever. I am about to run out. I only have like 1 more cast of Thrall left, so I think I might try Venge after that. I think Thrall is generally better now with the rest of my gear and the Bofa method. But because one thing I wanted to say is that we are taking a lot less damage now that we don't have the or that we're using the Serp helmet. We don't have to, you know, take venom damage. Even though I would only ever let venom get up to 8. Maybe like 1 in every like 20 kills, I would not catch it. It would hit me for like a 10 or something like that. But I just think, you know, that little bit of not guaranteed damage really adds up. So it's been going great with the Serp helm. I did see a comment. Someone had left something on my last video about how they'll bring runes for spellbook swap. So they'll like spellbook swap, they'll Venge, and then spellbook swap to summon the Thrall. And then that's like a lot of damage, and I wanted to try that. I was really excited because I thought that might be able to like be enough to push me over to the enough for the like the sub 1 minute kill because my PB right now is what 103. But I did check, you need 96 magic, I think it was, for spellbook swap. So yeah, rather, like, I could theoretically try and get a magic potion and boost for that, but just I don't think it's like a guaranteed thing, so I'd rather just wait until I have that. Like I said, this isn't going to be the end of Zulrah for me, barring some insane luck in the last, like, you know, 3 or 4 kills I get here. We still are going to want to come back at some point for the Magic Fang. And then the pet, don't love it, but again, could be just something to do. You never know. I do have like a boss Slayer, so I could theoretically get Zulrah at some point just for Slayer, which would actually be really great. That'd be a super chill Slayer task. That is probably what'll get me the freaking PBE. But yeah, then we also have mutagens, which I think for UIMs it's like debatable whether or not. Well, not debatable. I think it's if you really care about backsplays, you shouldn't have one. It's just not worth it. But I do really love the look of both of them, though I do think that with my current graceful setup and everything else, or graceful freaking crystal armor and the range cape and whatnot, I think the green just works best for me. I could maybe see red kind of working a little bit too, but it's not something I'm going to stress out too much about. Well, this is probably going to end up being my last Zulrah kill unless I somehow get some teleports from this, which is always a possibility. But yeah, really enjoyed this grind with Zulrah. I definitely feel confident right now calling myself like a master isn't the right term, but it's there's not much I can do Zulrah. I don't want to say give me any account, but a lot of different accounts I could do it, especially when I don't mess up there. This would be so embarrassing if I die here. I can't talk in Zulrah. I never claimed to be able to do that, but I can kill Zulrah fine. I got all the mechanics down, phases totally down in my head, being able to adapt and whatnot. It's pretty good. I will say I am not in love with Vengeance currently, though I admit I have very little experience with it. So like, the pros, Vengeance enjoyers will probably know the best times to use it. But to me, it feels like there is one in every like 6 times Zulrah's in magic phase. I feel like, I can use Vengeance and guarantee it'll hit Zulrah and not have a chance or a very decent chance of hitting the minions. Because there's a lot of times where they have like 2 to 3, maybe even 4 minions out where it's like, okay, like Zulrah could hit me with a range attack here when I'm praying mage, but like it would be a waste to use Vengeance in my mind if it's just going to get hit on the minions. Just Thralls just seem so much better consistent damage. You're already not on the main spell book. Like there's no other. I guess if you were using Cure Me, if you still needed to do that, then I could see having Vengeance be a little extra thing. You're on the same spell book, don't do any of that. But if you don't need Cure Me, like I don't, then I just say skip Vengeance. I still think, like the one guy said, that if a combination of Vengeance and the Thralls would be, much faster kills, or slightly faster kills if you're trying to get combat attacks or achievements. But that's pretty sweaty, and it's just I don't think it's worth it for the average person to do. So I'll revisit Vengeance at some point. But yeah, we're finishing up with this much Zulrah. I'll put it on screen. 100 and some kills. The loot is probably not going to end up being as good as it seems. As you can see, we've only gotten like, well, I'm going to say 315, but we're about to get a decent bit more whenever I get some nature runes here to alch this halberd we just got. But scales, I think we ended up getting like 45k almost, if you count the blowpipe that we, or the Tan's Fang that we dismantled, which was 20k, so pretty good. Also, something I had heard from Zulrah forever ago, I think in one of Mudkip's old videos, is that he said you profit manta rays at some point, so you don't need to worry about sharks. And after getting the Serp Helm, that was definitely the case. You see I have 102 manta rays right now. Like the chip damage is so much less once you have that. It just kills are quicker, with my gear already, especially when I'm using thralls. So that's good to know that I probably theoretically won't need to have sharks. I can probably just bring potatoes for my first couple kills until I get the manta rays going, and then one extra inventory spot. But I think we're also at the point, as you can see by like this was dead, prayer potions was pretty dead. I would only use that for extra kills, which I didn't need to. That was just a slight convenience for me. So yeah, really feeling good about where we're at. Oh, and we're gonna wrap up the episode with a little mini clue opening here. I was editing today, and it took me a while to wrap things up because I got sick earlier this week, which has not happened, honestly, since I've been an adult in like 7 years. So that set me back. I didn't open the game for like 2 whole days or something. It was a little bad. This video is a little later than I wanted to get out. I've also been just with work, and I've been playing other games in general. It's just hard for me to keep up with my 100% self-imposed try and upload once a week. But it's a little difficult for me. I want to do that. I want to be consistent, with videos, but also, like I neglect parts of my real life that I don't want to neglect whenever I'm like super hyper focused on videos. and it just, I don't want to burn myself out in the game. So even though I've been saying for the last like month, it's like, hey, next week we should be back to Saturday uploads. Didn't hit it this week, and I probably won't be back on that for a while. So I just, I again thank you for watching my videos. I say it at the end of every single one, but especially if you've made it this far. Genuinely thank you. I do appreciate anybody that watches my videos, anyone that supports me, comments, or just views or anything like that at all. It all helps me out, and it keeps me motivated to keep going on this stuff. Zulrah was very, very fun, this week, just doing that and getting better with all that and whatnot. I definitely, like I said, I will definitely be back at some point to finish up there. Yeah, but I think next week we are going to do Pyramid Plunder. I think I've decided that's what's going to be in the next video. I'm not sure. I'm definitely not going to shoot till 99 because that would just be too much of a grind for even for me. Even if I wasn't making videos, that'd be too much for me to. I'm at what, 85 right now. A little too much to shoot for in one. No, not one session, but one concentrated grind. So I have a goal in mind, but I'll do a little bit more research to see what I want to do for that. But for now, one more medium clue to finish it off. 586. Can we get those coveted Ranger boots? No, never lucky. It'll happen sometime, or it won't, and I will just descend into a pit of madness and despair. But thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far, I super appreciate you. You're beautiful. Keep being you. And hopefully you'll join me for the next one. Let's do a little spin here like other people do. Look at that. What a fun way to end the episode.